Have you ever watched an elderly person who seemed perfectly fine, walking on their own, eating well, smiling each day, only to quietly fade away just a few years later? It wasn't a sudden heart attack, a major illness like cancer, or a dramatic accident. No, what took them was something far more silent and disturbingly ignored. A hidden epidemic, silently spreading among seniors, slowly draining their vitality, weakening their bodies, and shortening their lives, often without anyone realizing what's happening. Hi, I'm Dr. James. I specialize in men's health, and for over 30 years I've helped thousands of seniors not only add more years to their lives, but more life to their years. Decades of clinical work, research, and close observation have shown me something that most doctors miss entirely. Let me ask you this. What if one of the most powerful predictors of long life after 60 isn't your cholesterol, your blood pressure, or even your level of physical fitness? What if it's something most seniors never talk about, something they've quietly abandoned out of shame, fear, or deep misunderstanding? Today I'm going to share with you a key to staying vibrant, independent, and mentally sharp well into your 80s, 90s, and even beyond. And the best part? You don't need expensive medications, intense workouts, or restrictive diets to access it. Because the truth is, this powerful tool already exists inside you. It's just been dormant, waiting to be reawakened. Stay with me. In just a few minutes, I'll show you the simple yet life-changing steps you can begin using today to reclaim your vitality. And trust me, what I reveal at the end may completely change the way you think about aging. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, I invite you to hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss powerful health advice that's designed to help you stay strong, active, and independent. If this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments below. And if there's something we can improve, type ZO. Your feedback helps us support you better. Now that you understand just how vital this hidden aspect of your health really is, let's begin by uncovering one of the most silent, yet devastating threats seniors face today. A quiet epidemic that steals vitality, weakens the body, and shortens life long before its time. The loss of connection to physical pleasure. We ended just now by touching on something that quietly robs countless seniors of their spark. The disconnection from physical pleasure. Now, let's look deeper into how this silent epidemic unfolds. One of the most heartbreaking patterns I witness, time and again, in patients in their 70s and 80s, is a quiet kind of sadness that flickers in their eyes. It's not loud or dramatic. It's subtle. A slow surrender to the idea that life has grown smaller, colder, and less connected. And behind that quiet resignation lies a truth few dare to say out loud. A fading connection to their own body, to pleasure, to the physical sensations that once made them feel fully, vibrantly alive. This isn't something you'll often hear discussed over family dinners, or even among friends. Most seniors carry it silently, as though it's a burden they're expected to bear. But this widespread withdrawal from physical pleasure is happening all around us, and it's far more damaging than most people realize. Somewhere along the way, society fed us a quiet but poisonous lie, that intimacy, touch, and sensuality are only for the young, that after a certain birthday, we should simply close that chapter of our lives, as if that part of being human has an expiration date. And tragically, many seniors believe it. They internalize the message that seeking or enjoying physical pleasure is wrong, inappropriate, or just no longer possible. Some withdraw due to changes in their bodies. Others retreat because of emotional pain or the loss of a partner. And many stop trying simply because they've been led to believe there's no path forward. But the truth is stark. Giving up on physical pleasure doesn't just mean giving up joy. It sets off a chain reaction that affects your entire being. You see, when the body is no longer regularly stimulated, blood flow to vital areas diminishes. Neural pathways linked to pleasure start fading. Hormonal imbalances creep in. And slowly, the body starts to break down, not just sexually, but mentally, emotionally, and physically. Sleep becomes fragmented. Mood dips, energy dries up, and even the immune system grows weaker. I've seen this again and again. Once vibrant men and women slowly losing their light, not because of a dramatic illness, but because they let go of the very force that once made them feel alive. Let me be clear. Physical pleasure, whether shared with a partner or explored alone, is not a luxury. It's not a frivolous indulgence. It's a pillar of human health. To abandon it because of fear, shame, or misinformation doesn't just take the joy out of life. It can take years off of it. But here's the hopeful truth. It's never too late. Reconnecting with your body, gently, slowly, lovingly, can begin a process of healing that reaches far beyond what most people expect. You might just discover that your body still has more to give than you imagined. And in doing so, you may unlock better health, sharper memory, and deeper emotional resilience than you thought possible. So, how exactly does physical pleasure work to protect your brain, support your heart, and preserve your independence as you age? Stay with me. Because what you're about to learn next might completely change how you think about aging, vitality, and the life that still lies ahead. We just explored how physical pleasure isn't just a fleeting indulgence, it's a vital pillar of longevity. Now let's go even deeper, into a topic that few dare to speak about openly, but that holds incredible power. Solo sexual expression after 60. For many years, I've watched quiet yet powerful changes unfold in patients who stayed connected to their bodies, not just emotionally, but physically, as they aged. And over time, one truth became impossible to ignore. Maintaining physical pleasure, especially through masturbation, isn't optional for healthy aging. It's essential. I understand, this might be surprising, even uncomfortable. Especially if you were raised in a culture where this topic was whispered about with embarrassment, or worse, coated in shame. But here's the thing. Biology doesn't care about social taboos, and biology is very clear. After age 60, the body naturally begins to slow down. Blood circulation weakens, hormone levels dip, muscle tone softens, and the brain's functions start to shift. But when an older adult engages in solo sexual activity, even without a partner, something remarkable happens. Suddenly, blood rushes to vital areas: the brain, the heart, the skin, and the extremities. This fresh circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients that rejuvenate tissue and support organ function. Meanwhile, a wave of endorphins floods the system. Those natural, feel-good chemicals that help lower stress, ease anxiety, and promote deep healing sleep. Even testosterone, often thought of as a younger man's hormone, sees a gentle rise. This helps maintain stronger muscles, sturdier bones, and greater emotional stability. And those are the very things that protect us against falls, fractures, fatigue, and depression in our later years. But perhaps the most incredible effect, it's in the brain. Modern neuroscience has revealed that sexual pleasure lights up the brain in powerful, widespread ways. Multiple regions are activated at once, those involved in memory, emotional regulation, and even high-level thinking. In simple terms, regular solo pleasure keeps your brain young, alive, and resilient. I've seen it firsthand. Patients who reawaken this connection with their bodies showed clearer thinking, deeper creativity, and even a renewed sense of hope. And beyond the science, there's something even more profound. When you choose to connect with yourself in this way, you're making a bold, beautiful statement. I still matter. My body still matters. Pleasure still belongs to me. That kind of self-recognition isn't just healing. It's transformative. It pushes back against the cruel myth that aging means fading. It brings color back into your life, often inspiring healthier eating, more movement, richer social interaction, and a stronger will to stay active and engaged. Now, many patients have looked at me, hesitant, and asked, "Doctor, is it too late for me?" And my answer is always the same: no. It is never too late. Your body may ask for patience, for kindness, for more time and tenderness, but it is still capable of deep, nourishing sensation. Sensation that fuels your vitality and your spirit. So if the benefits are this powerful, why do so many seniors still struggle to reclaim this part of themselves? The answer, sadly, lies in a web of silent, harmful misconceptions. And those are exactly what we're going to uncover. Next, in the last section, we uncovered how self-connection through physical pleasure can powerfully support brain health, emotional resilience, and longevity. But even with this knowledge, many seniors still hesitate. Why? Because of the quiet, persistent misconceptions that have been planted deep within them for decades. Over the years, I've watched strong, once vibrant men and women slowly lose their spark, not because of illness or aging itself, but because of beliefs that quietly chipped away at their sense of worth, vitality, and possibility. These aren't harmless misunderstandings. They are invisible walls. Walls that keep seniors from accessing one of the most nourishing sources of wellness and joy. Let's talk about 3 of the most common and most damaging misconceptions. The first is heartbreaking in its quiet resignation. At my age, physical pleasure doesn't matter anymore. I've lost count of how many times I've heard this sentence, usually accompanied by a half smile and a lowered gaze, as if the person is trying to hide their sadness behind acceptance. But here's the truth. Aging doesn't eliminate your body's need for intimacy or your capacity to feel it. It simply transforms the way that need is expressed. Giving up on this part of yourself is like moving into a beautiful home, but never turning on the lights. Yes, you can still function. You can get by. But you'll be missing the warmth, the depth, and the vibrant colors that make life truly feel alive. The second misconception is even more deeply rooted. Seeking pleasure alone is shameful. Many seniors grew up in times when self-pleasure was taboo, spoken of in hushed tones, or labeled as immoral. Those early messages often burrowed into the heart and stayed there, manifesting as guilt, discomfort, or quiet self-rejection even decades later. But let me speak directly to this. Honoring your body is never shameful. Taking the time to care for your physical needs, including pleasure, is a powerful form of self-respect. It's not about indulgence. It's about reminding yourself that your body still deserves attention, care, and kindness. And the third misconception, maybe the most damaging of all. Sexual energy must be conserved to preserve strength. This belief, while ancient in origin, is completely out of sync with modern science. In reality, it's the opposite. Regular sexual activity, including solo activity, supports your health at every level. It stimulates hormone production, boosts circulation, maintains tissue health, and keeps your pleasure pathways active and strong. Think of it like a muscle. If unused, it weakens. If engaged gently and regularly, it remains alive and vibrant. Perhaps, the most important truth of all is this. Sexual health is not separate from overall health. They are intimately connected, emotionally, hormonally, neurologically. When one is nurtured, the other flourishes. When one is ignored, both begin to fade. Understanding these misconceptions is the first and most essential step toward reclaiming your vitality. But knowledge alone is not enough. What you need next is something more practical. A clear, safe, and empowering way to begin reconnecting with your body. And that's exactly where we're going next. After breaking free from the myths that silently steal our vitality, the next question becomes, how do we actually begin again? How do we restore that lost connection in a way that feels safe, empowering, and right for this stage of life? When I first began guiding older patients back toward their bodies, I realized that motivation alone wasn't enough. What they truly needed wasn't just kind words or hopeful advice. They needed a clear, practical path. Not theory, not abstraction, but a real method. A roadmap they could follow with trust, clarity, and confidence. That's how the restoration method was born. This is a step-by-step process created specifically for the aging body, one that honors the natural changes of time while gently reigniting the sacred link between mind and body that so often fades in later years. The journey begins with preparation. Before you even begin to touch or explore, you need to create an environment that tells your body, you are safe, you are respected, you are worth this moment. Set the temperature comfortably. Choose a chair, bed, or space that supports your body gently. Keep a high-quality lubricant nearby. These small acts may seem insignificant, but they carry an unspoken message. Your health, your comfort, and your pleasure matter. Next comes relaxation. This is not a race. There is no prize for speed. Begin with a few deep, calming breaths. Allow your muscles to loosen, your heartbeat to soften. Imagine tension flowing out of you like water draining from a full cup. Feel your body relax, not just physically, but emotionally. This gentle stillness opens the gateway to sensation. Then comes awakening. This is where curiosity replaces judgment. Gently explore the areas of your body you may have ignored for years. The inner thighs, your belly, your chest. Use light, thoughtful touch. Notice how your skin reacts, even if it's only subtle. Every flicker of sensation is a sign. Your body is still alive and still listening to you. The next phase is focused stimulation. With no pressure or performance expectations, gradually guide your attention toward more direct touch. Allow arousal to rise in its own rhythm. Take your time. Use slow, mindful movements. When you're not rushing, something magical happens. Depth returns. The body begins to respond not with urgency, but with richness. This isn't about chasing an outcome. It's about rediscovering a path, a journey that your body is still capable of taking you on. And finally, there's integration. Once the experience feels complete, pause. Breathe deeply. Acknowledge what you just gave yourself. Whether the sensations were quiet or powerful, thank your body and thank yourself for showing up. In that stillness, healing takes root. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. This method isn't about trying to become who you were 30 years ago. It's about embracing the beauty and capability of who you are now, with all the grace, resilience, and tenderness your years have gifted you. And here's what I've seen again and again. Once someone experiences even a flicker of reconnection, something lights up inside. A spark, a realization that their story isn't over. Far from it. But of course, even with the right tools, the path forward isn't always smooth. In the previous section, we walked through the restoration method, a gentle, empowering process to help you reconnect with your body and reclaim your vitality. But even the most thoughtful method comes with challenges. And if you've ever tried to change a long-held habit, real transformation rarely follows a straight path. That's why I always remind the people I work with. Expect resistance. Expect doubt. It doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're growing. Over the years, I've watched countless men and women struggle. Not because they lacked the desire to heal, but because they fell into invisible traps along the way. These common obstacles can derail your progress if you don't know how to recognize and overcome them. Let's start with the first. Unrealistic expectations. Many seniors think, if I follow all the steps, I should feel just like I did in my 20s. And when that doesn't happen, frustration sets in. But let me tell you something important. Your body has changed, and that's not a flaw. That's life. The goal isn't to relive your youth. The goal is to reconnect with yourself now, with your current body, your current needs, and your current wisdom. Even small changes, feeling more relaxed, sensing subtle pleasure, sleeping better, are signs that healing is happening beneath the surface. These are victories worth celebrating. The next challenge is inconsistency. Healing and reconnection, just like building muscle or improving flexibility, require regular attention. You wouldn't expect a garden to thrive if you only watered it once a month. Your body is no different. Set aside time 2 or 3 times a week, not out of obligation, but as an act of love and self-respect. You are tending to something sacred, your own aliveness. Another hidden obstacle is performance pressure. When you're too focused on reaching a specific result, an orgasm, a level of arousal, a perfect session, you put tension on the very parts of your body that need to relax. The key is to release the outcome. Let the process unfold in its own way, its own rhythm. Even a flicker of sensation, even a brief moment of comfort or warmth, that's success. That's life returning. And then there's shame. Perhaps the most invisible and corrosive challenge of all. Many people carry silent, buried voices that whisper, "This is wrong," or "I shouldn't need this at my age." When those voices arise, don't argue with them. Meet them with compassion. Remind yourself, seeking connection, pleasure, and vitality is not selfish. It's not silly. It's one of the most human and healthy things you can do. Overcoming these hurdles takes courage. It takes patience. But every time you choose to show up for yourself, even when it's hard. You're not just restoring sexual vitality. You're reclaiming your spirit, your confidence, and your right to thrive. And once you gain momentum, once you feel the energy begin to shift, you may find yourself ready for something even bigger. A complete restoration of your health, energy, and identity through a simple yet life-changing system designed specifically for this season of life. So let me leave you with this, a final truth to carry with you. Your body does not expire with age. Your right to feel pleasure, to experience connection, to live fully, none of that disappears. It evolves, and it waits for you to say yes. This is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring the life that is still pulsing inside you. The life that carried you through hardship. The life that still holds strength, wisdom, and joy. I have witnessed men and women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, reignite a spark they thought was gone forever. And with it came clarity, confidence, peace, and a deep, steady joy. You deserve that too. It all begins with one choice: to believe. Believe that you are still capable, still worthy, still alive, in every sense of the word. So start where you are. Start small. Be patient. Be kind. And remember, every step you take toward your own body is also a step toward a future, not just filled with more years, but with more life in every year. Your story is not over. Choose today to write the next chapter with strength, dignity, and the fullness you were always meant to enjoy.